That is a very bright light early in the morning. Oh my God. Jesus. I have work today, which I'm not looking forward to. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, that's bright. Yeah, work today. Need to quickly do some part A's before I go. It's not fun. So yeah, muscle recovery begins as soon as you wake up, and then it ends as soon as you go to bed. I'm getting a little bit more used to that now. Christ, that is bright, man. But yeah, just a quick 5-10 minute stretch off before I head to work, and then when I get to work and I've got set up and stuff, I'm able to do a little bit more stretching, which I definitely need to do. Doctor's recommendation: take 6 months off the gym, and take 6 months off work, take 6 months off this, take 6 months off that, and it's like, you can't do that. You can't put your life on hold for 6 months to a year. So yeah, up at 'em to work. Turn that light off. And that's something a lot of people don't quite understand, is prolonged change to your life starts with something small. So coming back, relating it to my own family, I have attempted to get my entire family a lot fitter and a lot more in better shape than they currently are. One of the top problems I have with my dad is his inability to want to stretch off and become more flexible. And it really irritates me when he comes home from work and he goes, oh, I've hurt my back, oh, I've hurt this, oh, I've hurt that. And I just look at him and I go, let's stretch off for 20 minutes. It will really help. And he goes, no, it'll be all right. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're probably not wrong. You've been a carpenter for 30 odd years. You know, you've had these issues again and again and again. And you know that if you leave it for a couple of days and you're really careful at work, then it will go away. The pain will subside and that will be that. Why? This is what I can't understand. Why would anybody choose to be in that pain for however long it is, an hour, a day, a month? If you have a choice to not be in that pain, why would you not do it? To me, that comes back as being lazy. But the issue is my parents are the most motivated, unlazy people that I know. So this is where the struggle lies for me. And this is something so beneficial that has been amazing for me when I have helped other people, mainly complete strangers, to get them pain-free, to get them a little bit more healthy, because that's what a lot of people have come to me thus far. Before I started charging people, before I started making a name for myself, before I've tried to do all of this, I simply just offered my services and I just said, if you want some help, it might take me a couple of months, you know, because I've got so much to do, but send me your details and I'll see what I can do for you. And that's what a lot of people did. They sent me all their details and they went, I don't want a six-pack, I don't want to be a supermodel, I just want to get rid of my tummy, and I just don't want the flab, and I just want to not be tired all the time, and I want to be able to run up and down the stairs without getting out of breath, and I just want to be able to run with my kids without having to sit down after 2 minutes. So these are all things that I have been able to help. They've all come back to me and said what an amazing job that I've been able to do, because they have always thought, like a lot of people do, the massive misconception about fitness is go, 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 go. You have to do it now. Go, 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 go. And it's not, it is unfortunately like that. And the stereotypes are like that. And that really, really bothers me. And that's what I'm here to try and change. Because every single person, no matter what background you're from, what shape or size you are, can be the perfect version of themselves if you don't already think you are. And this is another issue I have with the vast majority of people. I have been included in this in pretty much my entire life, and that's the self-doubt that you have within yourself, and the inability to think that, you know, you are able to make this change, because the worst critic in our entire lives is our inner critic, and that is our own internal voice saying you're not good enough, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that does 90% of the time stem from someone telling us that at some point in our lives, whether we can remember it or not, subconscious or conscious. It's probably going to have been there, and if not, then it's going to be your own massive self-doubt, probably because you've attempted to do something and it hasn't worked out, etc. I was speaking to a girl a couple of months back who had unfortunately a failed beautician's business, and when I showed her all of my fitness stuff that hadn't taken off, hadn't been published, hadn't been signed, I was simply just showing what I wanted to do, immediately turned around to me and said, you're going to fail, it's not going to work out for you. And I laughed, because I not because I have so much confidence in myself that I know I'm going to succeed, because I might not succeed, and if I don't succeed, then it is what it is. I'm going to succeed in my own right in helping people in getting a better mindset and a better fitness lifestyle and just a better lifestyle in general. Provided I can help one or two people, that's really all I care about. And I've done that in all honesty. So I'm here to help as many people as I physically can before my time's up. And hopefully that's a long way away, but I just got to accept it for what it is, and just I'm here to make an impression and to help other people use my past experiences, because unfortunately at the age of 23 I've been through a hell of a lot more than a lot of people I know, and unfortunately through some very, very, very horrible things in my life. So using that knowledge, using other knowledge from other professionals that I have been encountered with, then I'm hoping to make this change for you, with you. Going back to the girl about the beautician's business, I think the reason she turned around to me and said, no, you're going to fail, is primarily because, very unfortunately, her business did not succeed in the way that she wanted it to. And this is what I mean. She's an extremely lovely woman who has had a rather privileged background, and to the best of my knowledge from speaking to her, had no massively untoward bad things happen to her as a child. However, growing up in a not fantastic household led her on to being kicked out by her mum, and so on and such forth. And then her own inner critic is consistently telling her that she's not good enough, when she is. And this is what I mean. Every single person can do what they want to do, you know. And I told her straight up, if you want to be a beautician, go back to it and do it again. Try it again. Try it from a different angle. One of my favourite interviews to watch is the original Wolf of Wall Street. Can't remember his name. Absolute legend, this guy. So funny. He was on TikTok, and one of the questions was something you can't prove but know is true. And he turned around and said, if you were to take all of my money away from me, I'd be a millionaire again. And that's what I love, that determination mindset of, doesn't matter what happens to me in my life, doesn't matter what happens at any point, I will be where I want to be. And it's, for some people, that is up here. For some people, that's up here. But the people who have high expectations down here are at the same level of these people. They have great expectations in their own lives, and you should never belittle or make anybody feel bad about their own personal dreams, because they're all fantastic, and we all need people to want to make that change, rather than just, oh, I'll go get a job, or I'll come home, I'll drink at the weekend, and then, you know, I die. Like, that's not life. That's not living. You know, if you aren't happy with your current lifestyle situation, do something about it. You have the ability to change. Everybody does. And if you choose to not make that change, then you're only going to make your own life worse for yourself, aren't you? And what I have seen a lot of, unfortunately, is when somebody gets so angry or upset about their own current lifestyle situations, and they see their friends, their family making different lifestyle choices, and just doing things differently, simply just doing things differently, but they feel like they're trapped. So a top example of this is family. Unfortunately, I have had so much resistance from my family about making such a dramatic lifestyle change to myself that I would almost feel like I shouldn't do it. And who do we turn to the most in our lives, generally speaking, for advice? Family, really close friends. And so when, you know, half of the people you ask turn around and say, it's a terrible idea, this can go wrong, that can go wrong, it doesn't fill you with confidence. It doesn't make you want to do this. You know, you think, oh, I should just stay in my job and do this. Perfect example of this is my amazing friend, right? I'm going to keep his name out of the business because it's nothing to do with him. And he plays piano. Absolutely amazing at piano as well. Oh, absolutely awesome. I will link his Instagram down below. But he wants to be a musician. And I love that. I love every orifice about it. It's absolutely amazing. The fact that he wants to go and try and become just a super successful piano player is amazing, because how many super successful piano players do you know? You know, and to the best of my knowledge, his dad turned around to him and said, "I don't think you should do that. I think it's better that you get a regular 9-to-5 working job and you earn good money, and then you just get a house and blah blah blah." And I understand from a parental perspective, you're nervous about your children making these jumps, these leaps of faith. I have had a lot of backlash about me going to Australia from my entire family. You know, why are you going out there? You know what? You know, it's too hot. You got too many animals. You got this. You got that. You know, you'll have no friends. You'll have no family. What are you going to do here? What are you going to do there? And I'm a bit like, what is it your life? Is it your life? Does it matter to you in any way, shape or form what I do? Now, taking back to the parental perspective, obviously, if I were to go out and try and be a super successful DJ and, you know, take months off of work to facilitate that, then obviously my parents would take the full front, because I wouldn't be able to pay rent or buy food. So I completely understand from that perspective. But working the 9-to-5 and pursuing your dreams, where's the problem in that? And that's what I've never quite understood. Like, and this is where I've had a lot of backlash from sort of friends in the past. When I've sort of needed to sit down and just get some work done, they're like, you know, come do this, come do that, and I'm like, no, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. You know, sorry, I'm probably not going to come out for the next month, and they're like, oh, you know, this, that, and the other, you know, and you aren't a real friend. And it's like, what? Because I don't want to come down the pub, spend 50 quid and get hammered. Sorry, no, I have a third job to get to, mate. Sorry. And so people like that, you just need to get rid of. If I'm going to be brutally honest, you just need to get rid of people in your life that will suck you down and not allow you to go and do what you need to do in life. You just need to get rid of them and surround yourself by people who help you. So the friends that I've got around me at the moment, I haven't seen for months, because I've been here doing this, and I've been here working, getting my website launched, and, you know, I don't hear from them. They don't hear from me, you know, and there's no problem with that. I you know, and I love that. And I call them up and I'm like, I'm coming round, and they're like, oh my God. And I get around there and it's like, we have never left each other, ever. So they're the kind of people you need to facilitate yourselves with. And on top of that, the people I've now got around me are all doing something with their lives as well. This is the top thing. When I was 18, sort of 17, 18, 19, you know, I was around a lot of degenerates doing nothing with our lives. I'm not saying they're not doing anything with their lives. I'm included. We were all doing nothing with our lives. And, you know, it took for my friend, my best friend, to pull me out of that situation, fly me halfway across the side of the world to New Zealand to spend 3 months with him to get my head right and be like, snap out of it. You're not this kind of person. You're not a horrible person. So, and that's where I found my love for the gym. But it must be so hard for parents. Obviously, I'm not a parent, so I don't understand. And I have had equal amount of backlash about my DJing as I'm sure my friend has about his piano playing. One of the things that I'll probably never forget my dad turned around to me and saying, I think this is, me and my mum had a big argument about the level of noise coming from decks. So you know, but I had said, I'm so sorry, you know, I've got a gig out, you know, I need the practice to get on with it. And my dad just turned around to me and he goes, well, it's just a hobby, isn't it? And that killed me. If I'm going to be brutal, that killed me. I was like, whoa, I don't want it to be a hobby. I'm really trying to not make it a hobby. You know, I started DJing at that point. I'd been DJing for less than 4 months and I'd already had a set out, you know, so clearly wasn't bad, you know, and for him to just turn around and say that absolutely destroyed me. But I know he didn't mean it in that fashion. We've spoken about it since, and there's no issue with it. We've moved past it. It is what it is, you know. So it must be so hard for people who don't quite have thick skin to contend with people saying things like that. Like, it was just an off-the-fly comment. He didn't mean it. You know, like I said, we've spoken about it since, and it's no big deal. But, you know, for some, like my sister, on the day after Boxing Day, I felt horrible. She came down with a trivia set she wanted to play with the whole family, and I was really hungover, and I just turned around to her and said, no, I'm not playing trivia. And I didn't say it very nicely, and she was really, really upset. You know, to me, I've got really thick skin. If I came down and had a game and I said, right, let's play the game, and she said no, I'd have been like, okay, fine, no, I'd have left. But she got really upset about it, and I, you know, obviously I apologised, and, you know, we ended up playing the game. But, you know, being really careful of other people's emotions is really important. But what I think is more important is being able to defend yourself as a person. And this is something my mum has been able to teach me, but also my mum's taught me the complete opposite, because me and my mum butt heads so often. So she's the strongest person I know, but we'll also argue about the most stupid of things, because, you know, when your shields are down and you get attacked by something tiny, it feels big. So you retaliate with big. It's always very interesting to me when I watch it happen to people, because I'm a very observant person, so I can see when these things sort of happen, and I can see them unfold in front of my eyes. And it does take a bit of training, it does take a few years to sort of understand it. Obviously my mum has been a counsellor for the past 7 years, so for the past 7 years I've just had sort of the whole thought process, emotions, feelings, body cues, facial cues, tics, all of that just drilled into me over the past 7 years. And over the past 2 years, where I've been going to quite extensive trauma therapy, again, I've learned so much into the human psyche, so much into the human mind, about some of the best professionals in the country, and they have turned around to me and said that I'm extremely knowledgeable about these situations. And when I impart my knowledge onto people who have just started receiving counselling, they turn around and ask me if I've had counselling training. But yeah, one of my best friends at work was going to regular counselling, and he had a lot of post-traumatic things he was dealing with, and I tried to help as much as I physically could without giving out personal details. And this is the issue that I'm finding at the moment, is I'm unable to help other people by relating to my own issues because of current police investigations. I'm not actually allowed to say anything. When I am, believe you me, there will be a whole video on it, explaining in semi-decent detail about what happened, and all of that. But until that's done, my mouth is sealed. And unfortunately, like I said to him, you know, there's so much that I want to just sit there and say, oh no, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and because of this it stemmed to this, and this, and this is how it can relate to you. Like, it's so frustrating when you have all this knowledge and you want to just go, blah, and you can't. So, you know, it's a slow process, but we will all get there. And it comes back to the fitness thing as well. Like, every mental journey has to be done exactly the same as any physical journey. It's baby steps. You start mentally and you think, right, I want to make a change, but I want that donut. So go and have that donut. And you think, right, I've had that donut, but I still really want to make that change. I'm not going to have that bit of pie. That kind of logic. And then the next day, and the pie is sat there, you think, no, I didn't have the pie today. I'm not going to have it today. I'm going to make the change. Baby steps. And if you do a little bit like that every single day, in terms of a month, when someone shoves a donut in your face and they're like, right, I have this Krispy Kreme, you're like, no, I don't want it. I've started my fitness thing. I'm really on it. I feel really, really good. And I don't want to go back. And that's what will happen.